잊혀버리지는 아직도 잘하는 중일까. 멈춘 것보다야 훨씬 기뻐할 일이지만 아무리 마음을 먹어봐도 왠지 어디서 잘못된 건지 막막하기만 해. 어쩌면 보여진 내 모습이 전부는 아닐까. 두려웠으면 해요 everyday. 별일 아닐 거라 했지. 반짝여 세상을 비추겠지 않은 약속. 태양이 건네줬던 힘. 어떤 누구에게도 기꺼이 미소 짓도록 나는 내가 되기를. 하늘하는 바다처럼. 어쩜 이다지도 다를까. 생각지도 못한 생각에 부딪혀 고민해. 날카로운 마음의 헬미. 누군가 방치한 아이의 몸부림이라도 모든 걸 해결할 수는 없어. 다만 오해와 미움의 고향 그곳은 아닐까. 가만히 두드린 어깨 위로 차분히 피어난 한도의 숨이 느껴질 땐 별일 아닐 거라 했지. 반짝여 세상을 비추겠지 않은 약속. 태양이 건네줬던 힘. 어떤 비뚤어진 마음은 별빛을 받아온 너의 온기가 필요하니까. 하늘하는 바다처럼 당연하게 존재하는 건 어쩌면 기적일지도 모르지. 바다에 태양 되어 빛을 낼걸. 별일 아닐 거라 했지. 반짝여 세상을 비추겠지 않은 약속. 태양이 건네줬던 힘. 어떤 비뚤어진 마음은 별빛을 받아온 너의 온기가 필요하니까. 네가 필요해. 별일 아닐 거라 했지. 반짝여 세상을 비추겠지 않은 약속. 태양이 건네줬던 힘. 어떤 누구에게도 기꺼이 미소 짓도록 나는 내가 되기를. 하늘하는 바다처럼.
Good evening and welcome back to the Dwarven Fortress of Keskalokil, where where actually things are going pretty well apart from my habit of demolishing all the bedroom walls. So it's approaching the end of the year 100, which was the year in which we founded this fortress, though we founded it in the spring, so the fortress has been running for about 9 months now. And no, you can't get to see the calendar, obviously not. Oh, incidentally, I've discovered that's the moon phase indicator. It's not very clear in this interface. We have had a couple of waves of immigrants, so we're now up to 13 dwarves. We have been visited by a trade caravan, which offered better prices, for better than usual prices, if we could produce some goblets. And oh boy, have we been producing goblets. I have been trying to make porcelain bricks in order to improve the quality of our bedrooms by giving them porcelain brick walls, because this new version of Dwarf Fortress the dwarves prefer brick walls to carved stone ones, and you can now engrave brick walls, which makes it much easier to increase the value of them. So there's much less. There's no benefit in leaving your walls as natural stone, and given that porcelain is much more valuable than any stone we've got lying around, and frankly, we don't have much use for porcelain other than for decoration. We're converting some of the bedroom walls to porcelain. Unfortunately, a lot of the bedroom walls are made of kaolinite, which is what you need to make porcelain out of. And the auto mining in this version of Dwarf Fortress appears to be a bit more enthusiastic than it used to be, and has led to the miners mining straight through the walls of the of various bedrooms. So you can see here we currently have some repairs going on as I put up porcelain walls to replace the accidentally mined kaolinite walls. Pink Beast points out, the oddities aside, that's a relief. The old system was kind of a pain because ideally you'd plan every room correctly ages in advance. Yes, indeed. Like on the next floor down now, I've just wiped out all the walls. I'm now just building rooms in the space that I dug out. So this does allow for you're not being quite so cautious. And similarly, I can put the rooms where I want and then pave them afterwards, rather than trying desperately to find a flux stone layer to put them in or whatever, and then going, where's all my flux stone, because it's in the bedroom walls. So yes, this makes things a good deal simpler in that it makes it easier to upgrade rooms later. So Steph has just posted in IRC bees, which is because I mentioned them in the stream title. So what I have plans for this session, insofar as I have plans, are I've noticed that a lot of my dwarves, insofar as they're unhappy, which they mostly aren't, are unhappy because they haven't been able to pray recently. So I think we need to build a temple. Eventually, something exciting is going to happen to us, not least because we're quite close to we're deliberately quite close to a goblin settlement. So I think we probably want a hospital, and to go with that, we'd quite like a soap industry as well, which may sound a bit non sequitorious, but essentially hospitals require soap in order to be able to clean wounds safely, and soap is one of those things that you can't get from trading caravans. So if I want soap, I'm actually going to have to build a soap industry. And bees, because I've noticed that somewhere out here there is a colony of honeybees, and I've never tried beekeeping in... Okay, they're all bumblebees at the moment. Where's the honeybees gone? I have never tried beekeeping in Dwarf Fortress. There it is. Before, and I thought it might be interesting to set up a beekeeping industry and try making honey and thence mead. Yes, my guess is that everyone finds soap making a chore and doesn't want to sell their precious hard-won soap to anyone else. I've certainly never sold soap in this game, so... So I think it would be quite interesting to try beekeeping, and so I've been reading the wiki pages on beekeeping, and I think I understand how it works. And it looks like it might be quite useful once you've got it going as a means of getting booze, and a different kind of booze from the kinds you usually get. So don't care about that message. Don't care about that message. Yeah, we're going to get Masterpiece Bill and Goblets. We've got some really good things. Sev says 1, get bees. 2, keep bees. 3, profit. Yeah, that's the plan. Not quite sure what the profit is. It will mostly come in the form of mead, I think, which we'll then drink. So, insofar as I have a plan for that, I think I want to... beehives have to be outside, or no, have to be above ground. So I think I plan to set them up somewhere vertically above the kitchens, and then probably build a building around them in order to keep them safe from marauding goblins. In terms of temples, I think I plan to erect a temple, or to designate this convenient large mined area as a temple, at least once I've mined out that limonite vein. And like the great thing about kaolinite is it comes in these big clusters. So once you've mined it, you have these great big spaces that you can find uses for. And oh yes, you'll have noticed that I haven't made any mistakes in my navigation yet this session. That's because I discovered the key bindings menu. If you go escape, settings, key bindings, you can change all of the keys that do everything. And so now the moving around the map keys are the same as in the previous version of Dwarf Fortress, namely arrow keys to move horizontally and less than and greater than to move vertically, as they should be. Obviously, NetHack players will insist that it should be HJKL to move around the map horizontally, but those have other purposes and are not actually what Dwarf Fortress has ever done. Obviously, sensible keyboards should just have three-dimensional arrow keys and solve this problem. Right, so I think that means that one thing I want to do is to mine out that limonite seam vein so that so it says any ore and gems of the same type that are uncovered, but it seems to also mine out things that weren't uncovered. And I've discovered you have the painting button here, so you can actually just select individual squares, which is slightly more convenient, as well as doing things with rectangles. So yes, that'll set that limonite vein mining. So if we're going to want a hospital, it's going to want to be close to the well. And I could just dig it out of sand in this layer. I was wondering about this convenient open space, but that's rather far away. I think actually digging the hospital out of sand just below the well is probably going to be sensible. Let's leave a small gap before the sea. That may be a bit big, but it's nice to have a big hospital. Oh, well, that didn't work. Oh, that's because I'm still on auto mine, right. Actually, we don't need... Let's not waste lots of time digging out shale if we can avoid it. I mean, we don't know quite how much of that's going to turn out to be shale. I might blank a bit more of that. Actually, if we... Yeah, let's wipe out all of that and instead have... just open up the corridor a bit to get into the hospital there. And then the idea is this is nice and close to the well, so that the surgeons can just nip upstairs and get some water. And let's make... Oh yes, I was also thinking we could probably do with being in a position to deal with dead dwarves as well, just in case someone dies. Like, I'm not planning for it to happen, but so let's make a rock coffin and a rock slab. Oh right, beehives aren't made here. Are those made over here? Yes. So I'm wondering how many hives to make. I mean, we only need one initially, but we're going to want more than that if we're going to have a stable industry, and like the ideal number is about 40. So I don't know if I actually want 40 beehives. Basically, if you have more than 40, then the game starts limiting the amount of stuff you can get out of them, which makes me slightly worry that beehives may be terrible for your frame rate. But we'll see. So yes, I'm not quite sure how... do I just schedule lots of them right now? I suppose I can always suspend the tasks if they're getting if there are too many of them. Let's put a work order for 30 rock hives. Found out where you type numbers. No, that's not the right thing. That's where you type numbers in. Right. Don't have to press the up button hundreds of times. Right. I also had this vague feeling that we should start growing our own strawberries for some reason. Let's make ourselves a farm plot and then we can grow strawberries in it. I think I should make it over here in the Badlands where nothing grows at the moment. Why are you saying no mud/soil? I'm pretty sure there is soil here. Okay, you apparently... oh, right. What? Well, that probably wasn't what I intended to do. So I think I wasn't quite clear what was going on there. Let's have another go at this. Workshops, farming, plot. Because I get... all right, sometimes we get no need soil or mud and sometimes we don't. So let's assume that when we don't is the good situation. Right, okay. There's no indication that you are dragging out a farm plot. It just turns out you are. How helpful. Right. And it appears that stuffing goblets into bins is causing a lot of work. Oh, we're doing some mining up here. Oh yes, we're after some bituminous coal. Only I was thinking, look, we've got some bituminous coal. We can actually reach down there. Why am I engaging in this cautious digging out this way rather than just going charge through that lot? Let's do that. And that one there as well. Because basically for most of our mining tasks, most of our production, the thing that we're going to be short of is bituminous, well, is coal in general. So like, let's actually... yeah, we've run out of... can I suspend a work order? I don't think I can. Well, I can cancel that one and we'll restart it later. Basically, we've run out of tetrahedrite, but we've got so much bilin in stock that getting more tetrahedrite is not as nearly as high a priority as getting enough coal to turn the tetrahedrite into to turn the bilin into goblets. So we could also mine out some of this kaolinite, at least as far as the bedroom walls. Oops, my other laptop's gone to sleep. Haven't tested this bit of it. Well, I mean, the ability to get back out of... maybe I should pause the game while I'm trying to type my password into my other laptop. Right. The nice thing is here that I can actually paint this while the miner is mining. Oh look, another masterpiece Billen goblet.
Why are we producing so many masterpiece Billen goblets?
Because the trade caravan, because our civilization said, we need lots of goblets, please make us goblets, we will pay you nearly twice the going rate if you have goblets to sell us. And so I've gone, right, goblets,
Okay.
and set up an entire production line for the production of goblets. I'm slightly worried that this is...
The trade caravan gets here and doesn't suddenly go, you know what, we're drowning in goblets, you get a quarter of the normal price of goblets, and you're there going, oh.
I don't think that can happen. I think the probably the biggest danger is they don't turn up at all.
Because they've been attacked by goblins, eaten by
For instance, yes.
Right, yeah.
Right, let's see if we can build some more walls now. Have we got some, because some of those have been finished. Have we got... any... no, we haven't currently got any porcelain bricks available. Okay, we'll leave that for a bit. Eventually people will get their bedrooms having walls again. And like, there's a layer here where I haven't built most of the bedrooms, but that's fine. We haven't got enough. We've got more bedrooms than we need. We've got 13 bedrooms and 13 people, but two of our people are married to one another. Maybe our miner's actually off, like, doing something useful, boozing. Do seem to be more people lugging stones around without using wheelbarrows than I would like. Like, there's one. I mean, okay, apparently bituminous coal is so light this isn't a problem. Oh yes, but we don't have a bituminous coal stockpile precisely because it's so light. That's not a problem. Oh yes, I suppose that smelter's now idle and not making billen, so it may as well be used to make coke. Right, I think we've made at least one beehive. So let us experimentally erect a beehive somewhere around here. Wonder where it is. Workshops, farming, hive. So if I imagine that I'm going to build an up staircase somewhere around the back of the kitchens, then we want it somewhere around here. We have two. Oh yes, because I did it by two different means, didn't I? Let's install a second beehive. I was going, why is there still a job to make them? That's because that one's come through the work order system. Right. We have some very goth beehives. They're made of jet.
Swanky. Do bees like jet as opposed to wood beehives?
Wood involves faffing around cutting down trees. We've got jet just lying around the place.
And it's easy to cut mortise and tenon joints in jet?
If you're a dwarf, yes.
Okay, magic dwarf shit, okay.
I mean, jet is quite easily carved, so
Relative to, say, obsidian, yes. But,
Um,
I mean, you know, if I were trying to carve things or make beehives, I'd probably pick a wood, probably a softwood, because both of those are going to be easier to carve than jet.
I was actually reading a bit about jet and then the existence of steel jewellery in on Wikipedia earlier today, and yes, like it is what was actually a thing in like the 19th century. So each beehive has two settings that you can turn on and off. One is install colony when ready, and one is gather any products. So the way that this works is that when there is that you can install a colony from by collecting a wild honeybee colony and sticking it in your beehive, and once a hive has a colony in it, about 3 months later you can split the colony in half and take half part of the colony and put it in another hive, which will then start its 3 month timer. About 6 months after a hive has been filled, it will produce honey and royal jelly, and from then on you can at any point harvest those, which will destroy the colony. But of course your other colonies will be ready to split, and so you can then split them back into your recently emptied hive.
This is not quite how normal beekeeping works, but I mean, as a slightly over simulationist but not quite simulationist enough mechanic, I guess we can live with it.
So I think I can just leave all of the hives set to allow both of these events, and they will organise, and this will more or less work. I think it's probably a better simulation than their simulation of brewing,
Dare I ask?
which doesn't require water.
Right, that's unusual.
Or actually the simulation of steel making is pretty dodgy. Right. Sorry. So Bomrex says Sedu Kendok, engraver, has in his items some trousers and a tunic and blah 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 and a shoe and 16,362 live bees.
Thanks for Fortress.
Yeah.
Knowing exactly.
Yeah.
The power of 2 of bees.
No, it's slightly under a power. It's slightly under 16,384.
Oh yeah, so it is.
16,362 bees.
Clearly, some of them escaped en route.
Yes.
I mean, it's obviously you start with the power of 2 of bees because why wouldn't you in your ridiculously simulationist?
Right. So this hive now. One of these hives does. Right, yes. This hive is now listed as jet hive containing 16,362 live honeybees.
Can dwarves die from bee stings?
Probably not.
Okay.
Like, they can be stung and it is painful. The wiki actually suggests that on balance they probably are made happy by the consequences of being stung, because while they get an unhappy thought from being stung, they will often then get hauled off to the hospital, when they will have a happy thought from being hauled off to the hospital.
So getting a little topical cream for your bee sting makes you feel happier than...
Happy and loved, and someone is caring for me. And the fact that your arm's a bit sore is less of a problem.
And apparently serious bee sting allergies are not a thing in the War
In general, no. I mean, I don't know if being stung by all 16,000 bees might be a problem.
I suspect it depends on whether, the bee can sting through the ridiculously simulationist sock.
Oh yeah, I mean their armour will definitely protect them from bee stings if they're wearing adequate armour. But I'm pretty sure that a bee sting will happily go through a sock. Right, so we now have... So is the number in there going up? Oh, wrong one. No, it's still stuck at 16362. Oh well. So we are going to need some jugs in order to collect things from those, though like at the moment we don't need very many. Do those also come under here then? So let's say we want let's ask for a couple of jugs. Sorry, wrong place. Rock. Figurine hive. Jug. Right. Just to get us started. Oh, another thing. Oh, yes, but that's part of the temple business, isn't it? Let's finish sorting out what's going on with this temple. Couple more squares that are worth mining out. See, someone sensibly using a wheelbarrow for shifting rocks around.
Are you suffering from a national wheelbarrow shortage?
No, just the dwarves are being a bit prone to carrying rocks rather than pushing wheelbarrows with the rocks in. Right, so that's all of that area mined of interesting things. Well, apart from that gem cluster in the middle, but I'm slightly tempted to polish that up and engrave it with religious motifs or something. So now we could designate that as a meeting area. Trying not to designate any of the sea as a meeting area because I can't help feeling that would go badly.
Do you have to designate worship areas?
Well, what I then do is I mark the meeting area as being part of a temple.
Ah, right, okay.
Um,
Because don't dwarves get upset if eventually they can't?
yes, one of the things my dwarves are currently complaining a bit about is that they haven't had an opportunity to pray recently.
Are all dwarves religious?
I'm not sure. Let's have a look in a bit. Steph says one assumes folk wishing to meet won't meet in the sea and drown. Have you met dwarves?
Look, we can mine straight through into this lava that we know totally about and it'll flood our fortress. Let's mine anyway. Well done, dwarves.
Right. So add a location, a new temple to no specific deity. So we have 4 worshippers of Erong, 7 worshippers of Elkur Help Saved. That's 11. 1 worshipper of Raoul Wanderbridges, 12. And 1 worshipper of the Amber of Earth, 13. So yes, all of our dwarves are religious. So, I mean, I could make this a temple to Erong, but I think for now we'll make it a generic temple.
Sort of vaguely religious.
Yes. It is called, do I get to change its name? No, I think it's stuck. The meeting hall, I can change the name of the meeting hall, but the temple is called the Mirror of Wheels.
This feels like a very ancillary justice kind of name.
Right, so now we have that. Also, what I'm going to do, I went and earlier, because in earlier Dwarf Fortress versions, you could make a dining room into a meeting area as well. And that doesn't seem to be an option now, and you end up with while you can paint a meeting area over a dining room, that then means that you can't easily get at the dining room. So I'm going to remove that one and just leave us with the dining room, dining hall, because that's going to be less confusing for me now that we have a better place for people to meet, namely in the temple, which is Hauge. We can't. Can we smooth all of that? Let's try smoothing that. pillar of rough-hewn white jade. One weird thing is that this version doesn't show smoothing designations in the UI. I think the classic UI is still lacking a few things. Like you might uncharitably suggest is because someone wants me to actually like pay money for this thing on Steam. Pink Beast notes the religion, someone's religion focuses on lust, depravity, and torture. Are we the bad guys? We might be. Well, or at least we enjoy lust. Torture is quite odd because dwarves are generally not in favour of torture. Not so sure about lust and depravity, but well, this is a nice big coal seam. It also demonstrates to me that we're at the edge of the rocky area. It's all running into peat down here. Oh yes, about those strawberries. When can we grow strawberries anyway?
Probably not at this time of year, whatever this time of year.
No, I think actually everything is... Has something happened to my strawberry seeds? Am I just not paying enough attention? Cranberry, grape, ratweed, rhubarb, turnip, whipvine. I thought I had some strawberry seeds. Can I not grow? Does it turn out that you can't grow strawberries for reasons unknown to me?
I think you seed strawberries, don't they grow from runners?
Usually, but you can. They do have seeds.
Yeah, but I don't ever know of anyone growing strawberries from seed. I mean, this is a real world thing. That
Okay, I don't currently appear to have any strawberry seeds. I'm sure I had strawberry seeds. Has someone gone and eaten my strawberry seeds? Oh yes, one thing I was going to do though was you can't grow walnut trees from seeds in the game. I mean, presumably they do grow from seed, but like but the thing is that you only need one walnut to grow an entire walnut tree, so it's not really worth saving lots of walnuts. I still got acorns. I did have acorns, I'm sure. And I'm going, oh, maybe the strawberry seeds are currently being carefully put into a bag, and so the no, but it should still be under here. I do still have acorns. Why do I not have strawberry seeds? What do I have lots of seeds of that can grow outside then, given that some idiot has just made an outside farm plot? I mean, we could grow rhubarb, but it seems really weird to have rhubarb seeds. I don't think I've ever seen a rhubarb flower. Well, for now, let's plant rhubarb while I wonder what's happened to the strawberries. I should learn how fertiliser works at some point. Oh yes, I was going to mark... no, that's not the right button. Items. Was it... Oh, kitchen. It was actually under labour. Going to say that we should be willing to cook. Oh, we are already set to be willing to cook acorns and walnuts. Oh, good. So the system has noticed that those are not useful seeds. Also, oh no, we're brewing carrots, aren't we? Yes, we're trying to mostly turn things into booze if it's possible to turn things into booze. You cannot turn herring into booze.
but don't think Norwegians haven't tried it.
Why is there charcoal up here? Or indeed coke. Oh, that's iron bars. Okay. I mean, kind of similar question, but... Right, there we are. We now have a nice white jade, smoothed white jade cluster, and people are hanging around in here, and hopefully they will then be able to pray, and that will make them happier. I notice that these people are ones who have an unmet need to pray to Erong, and so are presumably now, or to thingy help saved, and are thus now presumably satisfying that need and will be happier as a result. He feels wonder after incompletely performing the rites of the communion of jackals in an undedicated temple. Okay, well, that's a good start. Right, we now have some space for building a hospital in. We could do with some doors to the hospital. Have we got some doors we can install? We've only got 2 doors lying around at the moment. Let's fix that. BPR. Might be able to remember that. Did I have a plan for how this was meant to join up? Because none of this seems to work around here. I can't see anywhere where I can put a double door and have it work properly. I think we want to just stick a wall in around here and then attach the doors there. I seem to have 5 porcelain bricks in stock now, which is nice. So that means I can finish building all of the walls that we accidentally mined out. And then we can start deliberately demolishing walls and replacing them with porcelain. Avo's crew merchants is meditating on depravity. Stukos Isethonol is rather more sensibly praying. Oh, has a lover though. We may well have another marriage soon.
Does dwarf adultery occur?
Don't think so, no. And I think pregnancy in dwarves is dependent on marriage as well.
You don't release the right kind of spores.
Yeah, I think it's not. Having looked at the wiki, I think physical contact may actually, or at least something close to physical contact, may actually be required now. Kind of. Right, so I think most of my dwarves should now not be desperately lacking in religious what's name. And like, we might do some better temples later, but these ones will do for now. What are all these messages about? Okay, yeah, we're not ready, we're not able to cook things. We made another 10 masterpiece goblets. And presumably we just have ongoing jobs for making things out of bituminous coal, so I don't need to worry about that. So that's the end of that coal seam. Now we can start going, and we've reached the end of that seam. We could carry on going this way, because that'll get us, there's clearly a kaolinite cluster over here. Pigmeat Beast asks, what kind of booze do carrots make? Well, carrot wine, obviously. Or possibly carrot juice.
I have to say that if you're going to be drinking carrot wine, then I think the dwarves are going to be very happy for very long.
We don't actually have any carrot wine in stock, but we do have some turnip wine. Would that be an acceptable alternative?
I think if anything, that's probably worse. But I mean, either way, I mean, there are much better things to make wine out of.
Yes, but we've already used all the strawberries. So I am a little concerned that we're down to 4 boos, and I'm going to quickly check what's going on in that area. There isn't a task to make any. There is an apricot sitting there, which makes me think we may only be short of barrels. Possibly even someone's actually halfway through brewing a thing. Let's see what's going on.
I assume that glass bottles are right out.
Yeah, I think you generally brew things, and obviously a still is not where you brew things. That's another way in which the model is wrong. No, you always brew into a barrel. Or a large, or a large pot, or whatever it's called.
So we've got what, clay pots, copper pots.
I can't remember if you can make pots out of metal. You generally don't, because metal's precious.
Other things, yeah.
You can make them, certainly carve them out of stone. And I've also made some out of porcelain because I can. Yes, I mean at the moment though I'm mostly making wooden barrels because they're lighter than stone ones. Yeah, maybe we're a bit short. I mean, there's a bunch of barrels. Oh no, there's a bunch of empty barrels there. That's not a problem. I think probably in that case there's just not a task scheduled for it, and I should stick those back on repeat. Can't currently make mead because we have no honey yet. Everyone, there's a huge pile of store item in bin jobs because I think we can't store the goblets as fast as we're making them at the moment. Just having a look at what else is going on. So no one has yet picked up the making booze job, but they'll get there in due course. Right, we have high boots for our military and another masterpiece bill and goblet. It's okay, so does clicking the update equipment button help here? Right, you have got. Aha! It looks like that's someone trying to work out how to put their boots on. Possibly being foiled by the fact that they already have them.
tickled by only having one boot.
Well, let's have a look up. Let's look up my militia commander. Yes, you do appear to be wearing 2 iron high boots, an iron mail shirt and a copper battle axe, which is like a pretty good start. I mean, I think we do need to get you some underwear, but where's the button for build? See if I can build a door. It's BP R. We now have a decent stock of shale doors. Right. So that would then wall off the or door off rather the hospital, which we can then designate as a would probably work better as a hospital if we put some beds in it, wouldn't it?
I don't think they're upset if they have to lie on the floor.
Yeah,
Does bedding exist?
not really, no.
Just need a bed platform. Dwarves don't need furs or blankets.
No. So I'm arranging these beds so that they are around a space we could then put a table in for operating on. Okay, we've run out of tables. Which might be a sensible layout, we'll see. We'll also want a coffer or two for storing stuff. Still got precisely 16362 Bs.
Okay.
I wonder if in precisely 3 months after it's made, it will suddenly have double the number of bees in it or something.
Well, if you've made all the eggs at the same time, fed them all with royal jelly, or unroyal jelly, and then they all hatch out more or less at the same time, that's not completely incomprehensible. Can you end up with your fortress completely covered in bees?
Maybe.
Right. Did the wiki not mention?
It doesn't seem to think that bees are an FPS disaster the way that, say, kittens can be, or used to be. I think they're less of a problem now, partly because you can just geld all the male cats. Like the problem with cats used to be that because it was impossible to stop them adopting dwarves, it was quite hard to just kill all your cats because that would upset the dwarves. Whereas with dogs, say, you could say no one can adopt this dog and then butcher the dog instead. But you can't do that with cats.
But now you can geld the cats so you don't end up with the infinite kitten explosion.
Yes.
Or only a semi-infinite kitten explosion.
I mean, at the moment, I think the only creature we've actually got in both sexes is goats. And they haven't grown up yet. Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate that we seem to be storing iron bars up here. Can I make sure we don't? Yes, okay, I've already set it that we don't. It's just still got some left over. An animal has grown to become a stray nanny goat. Right, we may now actually have a plausible breeding population of goats.
Does this eventually model inbreeding or?
I think. So in dwarves, they will refuse to marry if they're too closely related. I don't know whether or not that applies to goats.
Right.
So I don't think inbreeding is modelled so much as avoided. Unlike in CK2 where
You can't end up with the Habsburg bird goat.
yeah, I think not. Steph asks, why does collecting honey destroy the colony? I don't know, but it does. Presumably because you have to disturb so much stuff that the bees all get pissed off and possibly piss off. Right, people are now fetching the doors to build the, to suitably door in the hospital. Some messages, another 2 masterpiece bill and goblets. We've got some helms, and we've run out of Coke. What? You've been consuming my Coke at a terrifying rate, apparently. Yep, we are out of Coke. And we've got some supply of suitable coal, but I think I need to get back to mining more. Worry, there will be a miner along in a minute to help me. And I'm going to have to micromanage this because we're directly under the sea, and the miner keeps getting worried about the moistness of the stone.
Soggy. Well, what's not soggy?
Need to be careful that I don't accidentally mine through the ocean wall. That one's safe. That one's safe. That one's safe. Those 2 are safe. Those 2 are safe. Now let's mine out there. Brief pause to switch to unmarking things. We found some more of that seam that can be mined. Now that seam seems to have turned a corner. As the seam gets longer, it takes longer and longer for the miner to get from one end of it to the other. Oh, we're getting into the kaolinite here. Now it's not, the kaolinite is actually not damp up there. Oh, that bit wants to be set to automatic. Actually, it's probably safe for me to use auto mine in general, because they won't auto mine damp walls anyway, unless I've or rather they won't auto designate damp walls. Of course, this requires me to be careful, which is slightly dangerous. That column is safe. I don't want to go any further. And I want to stare very hard and pause if they accidentally designate the ocean wall. Looks good. That miner has gone off to be thirsty as well. So let's have a look around what else is going on while the miners are off getting fed and watered. So we have got a decent hospital now. So we should, yes, it should contain a chest. Oh, and it should contain a table if we've got a table available now. Right. And we can designate it as a hospital. So I think the weird thing about hospitals is there isn't really a good kind of zone to build them from. I can build it from a meeting area, but I do slightly worry that that's going to mean that everyone gathers there. Maybe I can then, can I disable it as a meeting area immediately afterwards? I think that will work. Oh well, let's find out. Oh, we probably need to shave a bit off the dining room as well. It is the home of Helms, our new hospital. Oh, we need to assign a chief medical dwarf, right? Well, let's first of all sort out the boundary of the dining room, because that's clearly got confused now. I'm going to repaint mode and erase with a paintbrush and erase back to that door. I mean, in theory, we could include the doors. So there. and then accept that, and then we can do this one and repaint that one outwards a bit. Right, accept. Yes, maybe I should make it a different kind of thing than a meeting area, or maybe I can turn it off. Maybe can I? If I mark it, can I mark it as inactive? Right. So now I can suspend it. I don't know if that suspends it as a hospital. Well, let's try that and then set it up as a hospital and see what happens. So we need a chief medical dwarf. Let's make that our adequate diagnostician. Not that it really matters who the chief medical dwarf is. Make it a citizens only thing. It has one chest, one table. And has a bunch of stuff. I wonder what that bit down there does. Don't know, I might try to look that up later. All right, that's how we can rename things. So if I go to if we go to places, then yes, we have a hospital called the Mirror of Wheels is a temple, and I can, yes, set it to, okay, no, let's set that to citizens only as well. It is currently only a shrine because, well, in part because it is just an enormous open area. Has a large dance floor, but no performers allocated to it. Which is probably fine. Well, let's see if my hospital now gets properly equipped with materials, even though it's turned off as a hospital. Not that we have the coffer installed yet. Someone needs to come along with that. Oh, it's the first of granite in the year 101. And so we have an autosave. Which apparently takes a little while. Right, there we go. Here's someone hauling us a table to put in our hospital. That's an awful lot of messages. Maybe I should read some of them. We've made more coke, good. We've found various things. We were short of coke, but that might have been fixed now. More bill and goblets. Another stray nanny goat, and spring has arrived. Yes, how's the undersea mining going? Have we got any miners available yet? I think the miners are still busy. Oh, he's on no job. How about you come and do some mining then? Oh, you're coming to do some mining. Excellent. Dig. Let's dig round here to the other side of this. Actually, no, we may as well continue with the areas we know we can safely mine first. Mostly here we're digging out kaolinite, which is not highly useful, but we'll want it eventually. Another masterpiece bill and goblet. And another. Bit short of food for cooking, but we're actually not short of prepared food, so meh. There's one edge of the cluster. Sadly, the sea has taken a lump out of this cluster, but as long as we're careful, that will be fine. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Native gold. Still got that weirdness about auto mining, where if you mine out one mineral and expose another one, even though that other one is also marked for auto mining, it won't get mined because it was the wrong, you dug out the wrong one. That's safe, isn't it? Yes, and that would be safe too. Ah, we found more bituminous coal. And some more cinnabar, but we'll leave that alone. Unless it looks like it's actually in the way. We are oh yes, Pinkbee says, but will mining the vein of mineral number 2 mine it out? Yes, maybe that's a consequence of the thing that's causing me to lose my bedroom walls, is that mining out a mineral will mean that nearby things of the same type get mined, even though they were exposed by mining a different mineral. So there's probably some use to this new feature, even though it does lead to people digging up all of my bedroom walls. So are we going to make anything? I'm wondering what to do with gold. Like, it's very valuable and all, but I probably don't want to make a ton of gold, or a small quantity rather, of gold goblets. Probably want to save the gold for like things where the value will really matter, like noble bedrooms or something. Right, be careful round there, Ben. Quite important that you not accidentally end up digging into the ocean. Well, there's a bunch of messages. Masterpiece goblet, short of coal, you have struck everything. We're still making coke. Right, okay, that's another batch of stuff done. Our miner needs to go to sleep. And we've got another miner around somewhere. But I should investigate other things. Aha! Both of our hives are now full of honeybees. That means we need more hives, doesn't it? Build, workshop. No, what's the key for workshop? O, F, B. Oh yes, it's BOFH. I should be able to remember that. Any hive will do. Oh no, but let's see what they're made of. We've got shale and gypsum and microcline as well as jet. We've got an awful lot of hives available now. Okay, I should actually set that to workshops each. Keep building, use closest. And then I can just click on the map and place a hive. Until we run out. Right. That should keep us reasonably well endowed with hives for putting bees in. And we're getting more drink, which is nice. So we have carrot wine and potato wine and prickleberry wine and fisherberry wine and whip wine and sandpear cider. I think whip wine is the most valuable of those. Were you coming to do some mining? Or are you coming to pick up a lump of stone and slog it and haul it very slowly away? Think the latter. Oh, it's coal. Coal is not very heavy. We are now rate limited by essentially... Where are you going with that coal? You're storing that item in a bin, but it's clearly not in a sensible bin. Well, I shall watch you then, see where you put it, and then suggest that you don't, or work out how to stop you. Whip wine is made from whip vines. Dizzy says, I wonder, are the bees at risk from goblins? Yes, I should probably do something about that. The expedition leader has been stung by a honeybee. No. We get a little icon, which I think is a honeybee on the left, i.e. a single pixel, and an exclamation mark. Right, that stockpile is, for some reason, bituminous coal. No, that's not what I meant. Is bituminous coal, for some reason, counted as a gem? I mean, maybe it's under cut stone. Let's turn off all cut stone, because it does look like a gem. I should have asked if the gut of the goblins were at risk from the bees. Yeah, they'll probably get stung by bees. Let's find our expedition leader and see how they're feeling. Okay, I can't apparently visit the expedition leader from that pane. I have to do it from this one. Healthy, no health problems, no wounds. Having been stung is not seriously problematic. Just she's frustrated due to being unable to play to Ral Wander bridges. Doesn't appear to even be grumpy about having been stung by a bee. I would suggest that you go and pray to Ral Wander bridges then. So let's see if now we don't get lumps of bituminous coal being hauled to the wrong place. Yes, I think I've turned off bituminous coal under cut stone, because I've turned off all cut stone, which should do the job. We'll see. Apparently I instinctively wanted to press F3 to get down to this level, so maybe we should arrange that F3 takes us down here. I think it's a perfectly sensible approach to configure the key bindings to whatever I instinctively think they should be. I'm slightly worried you're running off with that piece of bituminous coal. Where do you think it should go? Oh, that's a perfectly sensible place for it to go. Good. Yes, you haven't got a laptop running Dwarf Fortress in your lap. Sorry, Verity has just said, I think I'm dying of humidity. And yes.
I'm not sure that improves. I mean, maybe I can cause some of the water to turn into steam.
Yes, I mean, it's not helping me. My legs are rather warm. 2 more Masterpiece Bill and Goblets. Oh, and we've got a miner coming to help us. Excellent. Yeah, still short of coal. Oh, right, there is some... kaolinite in that direction as well. But only a little bit. Right, well, we'll mine into it from this end then. If we can. That's presumably a message about, yeah. Out from under the sea there, so the auto mining works again. Yes, there we got an instance of mining out, I think, mining out some bituminous coal that marked some bituminous coal that had been recently uncovered by the kaolinite mining. So yes, that bit is fixed at the expense of causing you to occasionally dig out all your dwarves' bedrooms. I appreciate pink jade is not really what we're here for. We're looking for more bituminous coal, but we'll take what we can get. Oh dear, you're now going to walk all the way around to that other corner. Just see what's going on. Oh! The militia commander has given birth to a boy. Excellent. Well, possibly. We now have a population of 14.
What's the mortality rate?
It depends on whether you're in a war, whether you're in battle with goblins at the time. Fairly low due to natural causes.
So basically, absent war, your infant mortality rate is pretty much the same as your adult mortality rate. It's just that in war, babies are less mobile and more likely to get sick.
Yeah, in particular, if your militia commander, if your militia commander happens to give birth on the battlefield, this is often not good for the survival of the child.
And militia commander?
I believe giving birth may be instantaneous, and so not. It might distract her a little from the war, but not I think enough to be fatal
Yeah.
in general. But does tend to be a bit more fatal for the child. Well, let's see what the thoughts of our newborn are. And it,
Tried to use you to hit a goblin over the head. Goblin didn't die, but you didn't survive either.
so far has not thought anything other than Gaga, apparently. Niche conflict vaults, dwarven baby. Values leisure time, values power, poor focus, musical, good analytical ability, poor empathy. Sounds much like a small child to me. Though I think those are permanent throughout their life. Currently owns nothing, has no health problems, no skills, no rooms, cannot work. They'll become more useful in about a year, when they grow from dwarven baby to dwarven child. Right, we've now joined up these two seams and run out of coal to mine in them. Well, we've got some bituminous coal stocks now. So that way we fall into loam around here. Going which direction is it reasonable? We've got a largish quantity of jet here. Well, let's at least mine out that sardonyx cluster simply because it's there. And we should consider, oh yes, right, there's still a bit more kaolinite to mine here, isn't there? It's true, sardonyx is a real gem, I believe.
I can't remember.
Yes, obviously it should come from Asterix, but
It's red onyx, which is red rather than black. And sardonyx is more common than black onyx. It's the parallel-banded variety of chalcedony. It does not just occur in Tolkien. Chalcedony is a cryptocrystalline form of silica, composed of very fine integrates of quartz.
I'm just going to finish digging around this this patch of sea so that we have like connectivity there. Right. So yeah, wondering where we go next in search of more coal. Probably try not to go too much more under the sea, because that involves rather a lot of micromanagement. But we could like just dig a tunnel, and let's switch to rectangles. Dig a tunnel out that way and see what we meet. I mean, the efficient thing is to dig complicated diagonal things. Dizzy, it says down. Well, I could do that, yes. But like, we know that this layer contains coal. Right, so let's inspect our hospital. Oops. Don't try to mine your hospital, Ben. Inspect your hospital. So that shale coffer has nothing in it. I would have expected, if the hospital were working properly, it would have something in it. So let's mark that as active, which will probably cause people to start gathering there, which then might make me go, maybe I should make it a different kind of zone, like a fruit collecting zone or something. All right, we now have a bunch of store item in location jobs. I mean, maybe I should have checked if we already had those. We'll see. We'll learn how this hospital works with experience.
What a terrifying thing for all your patients to hear.
Well, I mean, to be fair, while it's not true that, while in fact we will also learn medicine through experience, what I mean is the logistics rather than the medical aspects.
I'm sure, again, this is totally reassuring for everybody involved.
Right, there doesn't seem to be any coal in that direction. I wonder if the coal is only in the ocean biome. Which would suggest that I want to head south from here, maybe. So where's the south edge of the ocean biome going to be? It's going to be about there. Yeah, it looks like it's roughly the edge because we're getting into clay. Not quite sure what that, there's an awful lot of jet, but I don't think jet's a layer stone. So I think that's a very large jet cluster rather than an actual, rather than a necessarily a oh, I've forgotten the word, sedimentary layer. The fortress attracted no migrants this season. Right, we finished building all of the hives that I asked for. So I shall set them up soon. So we currently have only 2 live. We make our own bees. Right. So now I think let's make some more blocks. We're probably a bit short on like cheap blocks. Which I can't easily tell because you can't tell the difference between porcelain bricks and every other kind of brick in that menu. Or rather, in the menu of used things. Let's try to build walls and see how many bricks we don't have in that case. Oops, no, I didn't want you to just build the nearest ones. That's not going to work at all. Turn off, so let's set that to that, set that off. And then tediously cancel each square of the wall separately. Actually, let's also cancel that silly little hive sticking out there. Oh no, but we're going to need space for some stairs anyway, aren't we? No, we'll leave that one there. Right, let's try building that wall again. But this time with select material after placement set. And then we can just see, right, we've got 11 jet blocks. That's about it. So we are going to need more blocks. So let's just schedule a job to make. How many are we going to need if we want to fully enclose these? So that was 6. There's going to be about 6 on each side. So that's about 24 plus the roof, which is going to be about another 36. So that's give or take 60. But you get 4 blocks per job. So we want to schedule about 8 make rock blocks jobs. We'll say that 10 is about 8. We've struck ruby. Well, that's nice. I was hoping for coal, but like we'll take ruby. Struck milk quartz. And we've met some damp stone. Blimey neck, have we run out of billen? That's good, in a sense. Totes. No, we've still got 74 billion bars, just someone was confused. Maybe because they're in the wrong stockpile. Let's just check where they are. No, that bin is full of coke because they're meant to be in this stockpile. That bin is empty. All the billion bars are currently stuck in the billion smelter, waiting to be moved into their stockpile. Well, I'm sure someone will get round to it in due course. So what's our tetrahedrite situation? Are we long since run out of tetrahedrite? So why is there a bunch of forbidden shale? I think maybe I should arrange that page up and page down do something useful. Right, we have one tetrahedrite in stock. Okay. Okay, I have no idea why there will be random bits of forbidden shale around. Let's unforbid them. Right, there we go. So yes, we're currently not really limited by that shortage of tetrahedrite because the miner's going to alternate ends of this tunnel. This is not actually a sensible thing for me to do. I should not mine it from both ends. Not that I have much hope of finding any bituminous coal in it, but... Found any coal in other levels at all? I don't think so. Oh well, we'll try going down in a moment. I hope that my miner will... No, my miner has decided he's thirsty now, or she's thirsty. This is why mining directly under the sea is kind of inconvenient. Dog zooming around the temple. Right, so we've probably got a decent stock of porcelain bricks now. I think the first step should be to finish walling in the these bedrooms. Oops, I need to turn on keep building after placement. Right, so that's all of those ones set up. Then if we want, well, we can put in those two at least. That's used up a fairly large proportion of our porcelain bricks anyway. Just wondering if that relationship we spotted has led to there being an unoccupied bedroom, but it looks like not. That bedroom is not even marked as a bedroom yet. Well, we'll mark it once we've got the walls built. We have a decent stock of coal waiting to be processed. Why are the billen bars not in their stockpile? It certainly looks like that's all hooked up correctly. Maybe it's just that everyone is busy doing other things. Which is kind of fine. We end up with things being slowed down by the requirement to move things into stockpiles. That's not too big a problem. Like, something has to be the rate limiting step. No, that's rubies again. I'm going to connect this up anyway. Damn it. Well, death isn't entirely permanent in Dwarf Fortress. Oh, fish, fish. The world is full of anchovies. We've got some walls around our hives now. Let's see if we can build some more. Have we got enough for that? No. Not unless I start using porcelain, which I'm not going to use.
Something before I discovered tonight that I can't dry myself because my towel is still wet.
Right, let's build a ramp up onto the top of that thing so we can actually turn it. There's a bee, probably. Honeybee worker. So let's quickly build a wooden ramp to allow the dwarves to get up onto the top of that building so that we can put a roof on it. because I don't want to cut a hole down into the, cut a hole down into the fortress until I've got a roof on there. It occurred to me it would actually be quite helpful if we covered up some of the, maybe I should be doing this through the, let's do this through the job manager. Let's make some rock hatch covers, because we've got all these staircases, some of which it would be useful to be able to seal off. Yes, I don't actually know how vermin are simulated. Like, clearly we don't have all 16,000 bees moving around, but...
Oh, I mean, isn't that how beehives are meant to work? And that some of them stay in the hive and do
True.
some sort of and gather pollen and stuff.
Yes, I don't think that nectar gathering and such like actually
Not fully simulated.
actually happens. I think they merely miraculously produce honey rather than going out and finding flowers,
Okay, I mean that's probably for the best.
which is
otherwise
kind of a
we
pity.
probably are going to grind the observatory.
Well, I mean, it could just check that the hive can find a route to the flower, and then here we have a dwarf happily fishing, which is nice. Jetson says, I guess you can't make a sensible system of watertight bulkheads. Yeah, there is an argument that I could. I mean, I think actually having hatches on some of the major staircases will probably help with that. The problem with watertight bulkheads is they're also generally dwarf tight, so you have to go, oh God, you have to accept that you're going to lose a dwarf in the process of sealing things in, or possibly like lose 10 dwarves, which would be quite unfortunate with a population of 14, yes, that is the correct number. Brief moment of worry of whether I've lost any.
This is where you discover that in fact
I am quite intrigued by the ocean waves here and wondering if we can build a breakwater to keep them out. Like, so far I've built the buildings, the surface buildings, a little way back from the sea. Right, how much more wall can we build now?
sounds kind of nice.
That's enough to build almost all of the wall. We need to leave a gap because until I've built the floor above, we can't actually... So we're going to need quite a lot of blocks to build the floor above, though. So I should probably then wait until the... until the block making job finishes, and then we'll put in all of the floor at once to avoid confusion. So if I look in, is it stock small live animals? Yes, small live animals, 54,368 live honeybees so far. Yes, I think there must be a capacity, like this is how big a hive is, and this is how much you get out of a hive when you split it, and so forth. Well, I have got my bookkeeper at highest possible precision because that seems to be the default in this version. So my bookkeeper is able to count the honeybees precisely. Unsuspend that. Oh, it's not suspended. Oh, excellent. We just got a complaint about unable to reach site, which would usually mean, at least in older versions, that the that another wall was being built in the wrong place. In spring, let's continue growing rhubarb. And in summer, and basically we're going to grow rhubarb until I can find my strawberry seeds again. Justin asks, how will the bees get in and out? Well, I think actually the game doesn't require that they do, but I'm planning to actually, let's do that now, to engrave fortifications so that they at least arrow slits they can fly through. Because I'm sure that works for bees just as well as it works for arrows. Again, this doesn't actually mark visibly which walls I have selected for this. Like, I think this is unnecessary, but I feel that we should make it possible to see out of the beehive. Or rather, the apiary. Yes, I'm making a meta hive. There is a cat zooming around on the top of it, in addition to some bees. Maybe we will get kelp honey. It's possible, yes. I'm still like going, what's going on with this jet? I mean, I think this is just a big jet cluster here. And if we go out the other side of it, we'll probably run into peat or something. Let's just dig a exploratory tunnel this way and see what that looks like. And then I think we probably, I wonder what that button does. Then I think we probably start going down if we have to. Actually, it might be worth digging an exploratory tunnel there as well. What's that? Is that anything I can burn? No, it's magnetite. I mean, we could resort to chopping down trees and making charcoal, but... Ooh, what are those? Jellyfish. That's nice. Oh, that's why we got a message about unable to reach site. I've got to arrange that these corner pillars of this room can't be reached. We're going to have to demolish a wall just to be able to put them in. Idiot. Where's the demolish a wall button? Do I just click on the wall now? No. As that turns off an existing order. Designate things to be removed. These are now removed by miners, right. Actually, while we're here, those two squares are gems of some sort. I think the only one of my dwarves who is not of above neutral happiness, yes, is the baby. He was disgusted after being nauseated by the sun, and then dwelt upon being nauseated by the sun. Sorry. The 1/4 symbol. Those are the roots of trees. They essentially act as solid soil. There's something interesting that happens when you cut down the tree, but I don't think it lets the water in. There is an argument I might want to avoid depending on that fact, in case it's not a fact. But I'm fairly sure that they're waterproof, and if you cut the tree down, they just turn into ordinary soil rather than turning into open space. Though cutting down trees has in the past led to holes in the roofs of my fortresses. Right, so how is the equipment of my squad looking now? It all seems a bit random, really. Like, they don't seem to have, none of them seems to have successfully found their, looks like they've got everything that really matters, but they haven't managed to find their underwear, so I've clearly screwed that bit up somehow. Probably not a serious problem. Maybe we should start them like actually practicing some combat moves soon, just in case someone decides that meditate, pray, presume you'll do something else eventually. Make coke from bituminous coal, excellent. Right, now we've cleared out those walls, we can now resume those ones, and then we can put the other walls back in. Someone's left a bucket in their bedroom. And a lump of kaolinite under their bed. I suppose we could start by giving these bedrooms kaolinite floors, which would have the advantage that we don't have to demolish the wall, not kaolinite floors, porcelain floors, and that would save the need to demolish their walls in order to put them in. BNF apparently. Actually no, let's do it to the ones with earth floors first. Okay, I can't do it where there is already a bed. Can apparently do it where there's already a staircase, but that sounds like a bad idea. Justin worries that the porcelain bedrooms are going to be very Justin discovers the dug away roots of a tree can spawn twigs and fruits of the tree around them if there is space and grass or cave moss there. This means that you can, in principle, access fruit trees from below the tree. I mean, we'll only get cave moss once we penetrate the caverns. Right, so that tunnel has just found loam, or peat rather. This one is currently pushing through jet, but has now found peat as well, right. At least mining peat is quick, but that means I think we're not going to get any more coal on this level. Right. Let's go. Oh, of course, I need to switch into rectangular mode if I'm going to designate some staircases. What have I just done? Has that actually? Oh, that's. Am I? No, I'm not. That's removing mode. No, that's not what I want. That's staircases mode. That's better. No, curiously enough, peat. You can't even dig peat. It just vanishes when you try to cut through it. Right, we've made 10 rock blocks and it's 40 rock blocks, so we should now have enough to floor over all of that. Let's see if that works. Not sure we've got enough blocks for this, you know, because then we've got one microcline and that's it. Okay, make more blocks. I mean, we could floor like half, put in half of that roof, I suppose. Right, so we found some kaolinite already. Oh, is that bituminous coal? It is. Good. Right, let's go down another level. And just start mining out that one. My beehives aren't in a pit. They're at ground level. I've just built a wall around them now so that I can put a roof over the top. Oh yes, but my entire world is at elevation -1. I've no idea what's going on with the sea level here. Elevation 0 is in the sky. Like it's treetop level. Claire, someone says, was damp? How intriguing, yes. Right, we might want to be worried about that. Also, why is that square designated for anything? Only that square's damp, curiously. So we've got some damp around this side. Right, my reckoning is that there is some kind of an aquifer over here, because I know we might get aquifers. So what I'm going to do is to say, look, we've got bituminous coal north from here, down here on level -7. Is there any damp at this layer? No. So it's probably safe to dig northwards from there. But let's not dig out the damp walls at that layer. I'm slightly confused by why that section appears to be designated. Right, that will stop it confusing me. And we've got like hematite and indigo tourmaline and stuff at this layer, but yeah, I'm going to be cautious around the dampness at this level, because there is probably an aquifer around, and it's probably only the gentle kind of new style aquifer. But let's make sure we're prepared for it. Indeed, we might find that some water starts leaking in here anyway. It doesn't seem to be leaking in at the moment, though. Oh, lignite. Lignite's also usable. And like we can at least map where the possible aquifer is. Right, this is a decent coal seam in this direction anyway. Oh, but that square didn't get marked for auto mining. Oh, because it's damp, right? That's okay. I mean, in a sense, it's not okay, but right. So we found some damp sandstone. And some damp siltstone and some damp bauxite indeed around each of these places. And we don't quite know why yet, but let's not worry about that for now. We've got a decent amount of extra coal out of this seam at least, without even having to dig any exploratory tunnels. And obviously anything that was vertically below this level's water would be damp, but we're not anywhere near that. So whatever's damp is at least slightly dangerous. Well, it might be slightly dangerous. is at least slightly likely to be dangerous. So let's not worry about going any further in there at this stage. So is this now a properly equipped, oops, don't mind that. Is this now an adequately equipped hospital? Well, it's a slightly equipped hospital, that's a good start. We can even make some plaster because we've got some gypsum in stock. Oh, it's short of soap, of course, and buckets is. Let us quickly fabricate a wooden bucket. And then we should think about a soap industry. So, how are we going to do soap, I wonder? Plus, what's the current, what year is it? Late spring. We should be getting to the point where we're going to get some harvestable substances. Have we got enough spare jugs, do you think? Do have some stock of jugs. I think, right, I think the honeycomb should turn up. Oh, we're going to need to make a screw press for squishing the honey out of the honeycomb, aren't we? Which I think is made out of 2 mechanisms. Sorry, I meant harvestable objects. Substances, possibly. I'm a little bit worried about how long my expedition leader has been spending in this temple, though not perhaps quite as worried as I am about the fact that my miner is meditating on torture. Oh, good, the expedition leader has finally left. Good, good. That's fine then. Has she got a good thought from that? No, she doesn't seem to get happy thoughts from religion. Right, now I can re-establish that wall. One is apparently still suspended. Let's resume it. Oh, look, we have some water leaking into this staircase. So I think this is indeed an aquifer, but it's the modern kind of rather feeble aquifer. So we might be able to smooth. I wonder if does smoothing rocks deal with aquifers still? I'm going to look up aquifer in the wiki. So this is clearly not a heavy aquifer, and I don't think we do even get heavy aquifers in this area. So I'm trying to find whether smoothing still. Where they are found. So yes, I think this is a sandstone layer. So what's the layer above? The layer above is shale, and obviously you can't find an aquifer in shale. So that means this is the aquifer layer here with the sandstone. So I think I'm now just going to see, let's just search this page for smooth. Smooth mined, carved staircased or channeled aquifer tiles no longer produce water. So I think we can improve matters by smoothing the aquifer tiles, which I think are probably only the sandstone, and then digging reasonably slowly around them. Siltstone, I presume siltstone is also aquiferous. Sandy clay, siltstone cannot contain aquifers. Interesting. So why is this area damp, I wonder? Oh well, we will find out. I think I should avoid mining too much more until... Where are you going with those goblets? Oh, you're going to drink with them. Well, that's kind of an acceptable use for a goblet, I suppose. Judson says, I assume Old Testament aquifers just smoked you with endless unstoppable water. Yeah, more or less. They produced water at a very high rate, and essentially if you exposed an aquifer tile from the side, you would have immediate serious flooding. Usually you would expose aquifer, but you would actually, in this case, I would have exposed it from above. The moment I dug down into this conglomerate here, I would have found, actually is the layer stone is conglomerate, oh no, it's mostly sandstone. Just becomes conglomerate in this corner. When I exposed that conglomerate, I would have immediately have flooded, and I would never even have got down into this level. So I think that wall there is designated for smoothing. What was that big G running around over there? Giant leopard gecko. Possibly I should see if I can get my hunters over to the other side of the river. Though they've probably all run out of crossbow bolts by now. We can make some bronze crossbow bolts, actually. That would be a good use of bronze. I've got a bit of bronze lying around. But no point in letting the hunters out until we've got actual meat and leather industry. Oh, we successfully planted some rhubarb, I think, maybe. Yes, it is midnight. Is there anything more that I really need to do? I'm mostly waiting for dwarves to get round to doing things, which is a little on the tedious side. My miner is to come back to meditate on torture some more. Unmet need, pretty much everything. Yeah, we're going to need to allow you to craft an object soon. I don't think it's my fault that you haven't argued with anyone recently. Do you have a family? No one here. You've got as far as kindred spirit with a few people. Right, just observing. I was going to try making some plaster, wasn't I? Yes, for the hospital. We've got half of the roof of the Meta Hive built. Let's see if we can build the other half. Constructions, floor. I suppose we can build the wall from the outside and then dig the staircase. It is now summer. Some bit of floor has got suspended because we can't reach it. No good reason why that should be unreachable. Right, and then, yes, I kind of like to polish off this. Oh, have we got enough bits to make a screw press? And where should we put it? There's kind of a gap down here, isn't there? Okay, where are screw presses? They're presumably a kind of workshop. Screw press. There we go. And my expectation is that this water will slowly flood out into the rest of that seam and evaporate. It's like still only 1 unit deep. If it gets more than 1 unit deep, I might start worrying. Everyone's praying now. Okay, no one seems to want to build anything or smooth anything at the moment anyway. How are you feeling given you're in the middle of a vast amount of mist? I'm mostly annoyed at being caught in the rain. Do dwarves no longer love mist then? That's rather sad. But apparently your bedroom and your dining room make you happy all the time, simply thinking about them, which is good. Right, so yes, since no one is... bilberries. No one is actually working on all the jobs I want building. Everyone's praying, even the baby. No, the baby is not praying. Does the baby even have a god yet? The baby does have a deity, as well as a mother and a father. I think they want a bedroom from 1 year old, actually. Let's quickly make sure we've got a spare bedroom. I think we have actually got a spare bedroom, so it's not a serious problem. Oh, right, and we can rebuild this wall, and that will make life good. Is that not like a porcelain brick there you could build it with? What's going on with that porcelain brick? Is it stuck on the bed or something? Anyway, what I was going to do then is actually, I want to redesignate those bedrooms so that they don't include spaces that are unreachable. So that they just include their own walls. Slightly hard to work out. It looks like I actually want to paint that section back in again. Like that. And we should make that into a bedroom, of course. There we go. Right, so that will ensure that the child has a bedroom once they grow up. Right, so I think I'm going to leave things there, and we will come back next Friday and try to finish off the apiary. And we'll probably meet our next trade caravan, assuming they turn up. And be able to sell them this stupid... How many have we got? This... the 348 goblets we've made for them. And I'm sure they'll be very happy to receive 348 goblets. So yes, until then, I will say click the save and return to title menu, save to this timeline and say good night. Good night.